from bottom was rolling around in that Toyota bucket. The summer is ours, I'm hungry for power, Gaddafi. You turn on the tube and all that you see is Versace. You go to my school, they can tell you Shabak was honey. This ain't the land of the free, no propaganda machine. Hand up my flag on the screen, then light a candle for deeps. Okay? Smoking the jets, smoking the jets, smoking the black cigarettes, taking it straight to the head, chicken select. This is the sweetest revenge. I'm holding the crown, my soldiers surround, so throw in the towel. We come through the kitchen with owner's permission, the photos allowed. My flow is so hazardous, fun like it, can nobody handle this. I annihilated all my competition, so there's no further challenges. Look, going against you, you're throwing one is totally blasphemous. In a city we're having no morality is totally fabulous. What's going on with these amateurs over the internet posting some messages? Next thing you know, you'll carry a result over some characters. It's the juxtaposition of choosing stupidity over intelligence. Domazano shishilizangen, pansan you hoping for happiness. Sem shabe nigme lose bege is crucial. Lobo tembiche they no chembe umunju. They laugh in your face while they playing no shoot you. Bafuna jugukulela makukum zogbambang or left thing bambang or right. Men at left I will hurt you. We out here living the LSCOM life, yeah, we in that power circle. See, all I ever wanted was a peace of mind to speak my mind, to speak my mind. Yeah,
is this the club show? Can we start and talk and do things? Welcome to TrendingSA!
Go!
Yeah, I actually, what? Am I sweating?
Why?
Yeah.
Hi.
Can we just get the aircons, please?
We're living at
down
Escom
to
life.
1652 so we can just be cool in here. All right, we're live on SABC3. We're also live streaming on TrendingSA.tv and also on Facebook. So hello to you, wherever it is that you're listening and watching. So this is the squad, the coolest squad, the hottest squad, the smartest squad. Well, actually, Musa's the smartest one, part of the squad. He has told us several times. Yes, so on my right is the ever so delectable and saucy Miss Coolie Roberts.
Hello, darlings. Hi, when I'm more. What, Diti? Nan, I was kneeling there, as you can see. I was apologizing to Tammy Dish for something that I did to him, and I'll probably do it again and apologize again. Yeah, look, you gotta kneel, you know. He likes it when I kneel. I love you, Tammy.
Wow.
I look so stupid doing things like that.
Babe, I look stupid. Look at me.
No, you look fabulous.
I look like some crazy grandmother. Can we don't use that word?
Okay, sure.
Right.
You look amazing.
Yo, that looks amazing. All right, so what's on your timeline, my love?
Oh, on Tonight That's So Savage, I'll be looking at the savagery that happened on Twitter between the beautiful Thando Tabete and the whole of Black Twitter.
Oh, my goodness. All right, on my far right, he hasn't sent us an e-wallet in a very long time.
Cheap.
But he is still our blesser because he blesses us with his presence. We don't need presents. Hey, this is Dr. Musam Tombele. You're such a weirdo, Musa.
This is so cool.
What is this?
This is me this past weekend. I was
Not
studying
studying.
in med school. I was studying, actually. And what you're looking at there is a sagittal MRI. And I was doing anatomy, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I wrote the physics today, so that's done.
Congratulations.
And now I just have to write anatomy on Friday.
And how was the paper?
It was a paper. We'll see.
You will pass. You're brilliant.
This one's going to come here with 100%.
Yeah.
Just wait. What's on your timeline, love?
Listen, on my timeline tonight, we look at the hashtag that is tweet like you're 100. Because tweets were legit within the belief that they'll live to that age. Then again, we'll look at another hashtag, and that is hashtag Jacob Zuma. You want to hear about that one?
I love it. Then on my left, the punchline sister, the animal lover. She's got cats in her home and on her back. Our own roast mistress. This is Nina Hastings. Are you cheating on me?
Are you cheating on us? I thought we were your only black friends.
You know,
I mean...
she's a really beautiful woman.
What are you saying about us?
You are also a beautiful woman, but I'm sick of you guys. I've got another wife, although my boyfriend and his entire family are watching, so I'm not into women at all.
Okay, so then let's reel it back and you tell us what's on your timeline.
All right, in other news. Wow, I said that on TV. Awkward. Yeah. I'm tackling the debate on hashtag open up the industry. Sure. Which
Why did we get so
we
emotional?
were even on opposite sides of this thing. We're gonna unpack that later, and hopefully we're all gonna have our dresses and eyes and hair intact because we're gonna go in on each other. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, wow.
Sis,
Now I am too.
looking forward to getting into Musa.
I used to be Nina Hasty's only black friend, but now she has moved on. I'm your Madam Speaker, Fabi Molloy.
Fabi, you're my only white friend.
More.
Oof, what a
I was just
hottie.
chilling.
This is your garden.
Listen,
It's nice.
Someone's got to have some land.
Sure. It's so
Yeah.
nice.
Look at the twins.
yesterday.
Okay, can we stop her?
Awkward! Our woman crush guest is amazing. She's gorgeous, but that's not really the point. She is an award-winning, soulful and mind-blowing musician. She's all about the craft. We're going to chat to her about the rise and rise in her career. Ladies and gentlemen, Zoe Modiga is here.
Oh, an entire flame.
An entire flame.
Does she have a tattoo there? Or is it just a graphic?
It's a graphic. Don't
Yo.
get excited.
We will look at her
I
chest.
was about to say, whoa.
You know when you see something and like you're instantly like, I want to see more.
Tattoo in
I
your
want
chest
more.
with his name
So
in the
Zoe's
middle.
going to be here. So make sure that you send questions and comments at TrendingSA on 3 is what we are on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. We are TrendingSA. And you can also use the hashtag TSA on 3 and tag at SABC3 and your mom and your grandmother and Nina's 7 cats. We'll be right back.
Nina Seven Cats.
Just the music, man. Welcome back. This is TrendingSA on SABC3. Remember that we're streaming on our website, TrendingSA.tv, as well as on Facebook. Let's have a look at what you are saying right now. Charlotte, I want to speak to you. You guys are so amazing. You even got my mom hooked. Love you guys.
Good, mama.
Yes,
Love you,
hello,
mommy.
mama.
Good.
Next. Thank you.
Also-
Sandile Okute. Isn't Omaswe Okute, ne? This is my first message to y'all. The Glam Squad always looking good. And Musa too.
Oh, that was going to be my question. Am I also part of Glam Squad?
Yes, my love.
I mean, I don't take labels, so fine. You can call me whatever you want to call me. It's okay.
Chocolate Manchi.
Thank you so much for all of your comments, everything that you share with us. We really, really love it. The hashtag, as always, is TSA on3. Musa, you have some updates?
Yes, I do. Let's get into it. Starting things off with today's updates, I came across a very futuristic hashtag that had millennials playing wishful thinking about things that they would say to their children in their old age. Now, some shared some very interesting anecdotes about the 100-year-old themselves and things like that, whilst others were telling blatant lies. Let's see what you had to say. Starting things off with Swati Queen saying that tweet like you're 100. I should have answered those DMs. It's true.
That's very true.
You must always answer DMs.
Absolutely.
Always send pictures in the... I'm joking.
Hey.
All right. And then another one from Not Your Bay saying that tweet like you're 100. In the good old days, we used to pose with coffins.
They
you can
did.
see
We
Exhibit
didn't.
A is Usi Cynthia. Cynthia here is lying within...
That's very gross.
That's
And that name as
so
well.
weird.
That name, right? All right, let's get into another one. This one coming through from Manpower Within. Tweet like you're 100. My grandchildren just asked me why they don't have to pay for varsity fees. Should I tell them that I was a fees must fall? Now, at this point, I need to finish it. You can either say staring or starring,
Staring.
and you'll decide on that. Now, ladies, I want to find out what you think you'd share with your grandchildren when you're 100 years old. Let's see what you have to say. Nina?
I'm going to say to my grandchildren, you know, in the old days, we all used to be different colors.
And now?
Well, obviously, they're my grandchildren, so they're all brown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you feel a little bit of a pew pew? Yeah.
Oh, because you guys are also...
We have contributed to the brownness of the nation.
Okay.
There
You're
will
welcome.
not be any, like, single-race
Okay,
babies that
look
come
at
out of this table, ever.
Okay, so I would phone them.
Yeah.
Tell them to come down from their hovercraft, because it's like 20, 30, 45, 50, and speak to them in a little, Bluetooth skin.
Microchip.
Bluetooth.
Yeah. And I'd say, technology is not everything. Make friends with real humans. Hug people.
Strangers.
Yeah, the
Oh,
hypocrites.
sorry.
Actually, the Bluetooth will actually be their tooth, which is blue because there's a piece of tech in it.
Oh, but
and
I'm a
it
granny.
looks blue through the enamel.
You're
Quiet,
100,
please,
remember
Granny
that.
wants to talk. Back in my day, we used to use remote controls to turn on the TV. The remote controls were so heavy, my children. And the other thing is that they needed batteries. We had to charge the batteries too. It was so tiring when we were much younger. Remember,
So
remote
is this what you
controls?
tell your granddaughter
That's what
now?
I tell my grandchildren.
Shame.
Oh,
it's actually
because-
how you got the arthritis from
Yes,
all the
the remote
pressing of the
control.
buttons.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Now, speaking of people who have been on this earth for quite some time, Ubaba Tutuzani, hashtag Jacob Zuma, was trending today after he responded to very shady comments made by the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, at the World Economic Forum in Davos last week. Now, in his address, President Ramaphosa gave a frank assessment of the Jacob Zuma years, calling the period as the 9 lost years. Now, the president's remark did not sit well with Umsholozi, and he then took to his Twitter to share a very short and sweet post with an attached link. This was the post. 9 wasted. Yes.
Bless you.
Read
Love this.
TL dot
Listen
GT
properly.
forward
Sorry.
slash N underscore 1 SQP as
Oh, wow.
PG. Now, in the attached link, Zuma went out, or former President Jacob Zuma went out to detail some of his triumphs whilst he was president. These included establishing an HIV/AIDS program, creating a national development plan, increasing
That's
electricity
interesting.
access across the country to all households, as well as households gaining piped water. Now, the list goes on. And former President Jacob Zuma ended this lengthy essay with these words. There is much, there is no such thing as 9 wasted years behind us. Now, the response from Wamsholozi sparked a lot of debate on Twitter between Zuma supporters and those that were against him. And this is what the tweets look like. Bongani here saying that I hate it when people say Jacob Zuma is corrupt. He is not. He is the most corrupt person in South Africa. He sold our country to the highest bidder with no shame. Boom! Drops mic. Kagiso here saying that more than 25,000 kids have been put through varsity via the Jacob Zuma Education Trust. More than 50 top-notch schools have been built, including 2 new universities. Why we love him shouldn't bother you.
What's a top?
And then another one from Kaya here. It says, here is to the uneducated people's president who built 2 new universities during the 9 wasted years, whilst the then it gets a little deep, whilst the London-educated Thabo Mbeki puffed drug, and blew away colleges in his 10 years of auctioning natives to his London masters with Tito Mboweni ascaris.
Gee whiz.
Wow, KN media is deep.
Whoa.
Ascari.
Well, listen, so squad, I thought I should, get
I
a
thought you
vote
said
from-
Sasquatch.
No. I just want to find out from the squad what you think this is. I want you guys to vote. I want you guys to make this decision based on the pros and cons that I'm going to show you on the Zuma years, all right?
Okay.
So you tell me whether you think it was a good 9 years or it was a bad 9 years, okay?
Okay, we're
All right,
ready.
so here are the pros and cons. That was just for dramatic effect. Now here comes the list. Right. So pros. Establish the Department of Performance, Monitoring and Evaluation and many other things with a vision for 2030.
Okay.
Another pro is establish the Presidential Hotline, which is run by some department, which basically deals with inquiries that have to do with, public stuff. So if you want to call and say, "Asna gas, we don't have electricity," that's what you call.
And didn't that also inspire Drake's hotline?
I know
Yeah,
when
it
that
did.
hotline
I agree. Another pro, during his tenure, South Africa was ranked #1 in the world in terms of delivering subsidized housing for the poor, with close to 4.5 million houses and subsidies delivered.
Nice.
Now, those were the pros. Did you see them?
Yeah,
Did you accept them into your hearts?
Yes.
Let's look at the cons at this point in time. Unemployment soared and economic growth sort of took a hit, and SA's credit rating, because we take those seriously, slumped into junk status. And another one was that there were several commissions of inquiry, state capture, SA Revenue Services, many other things that existed. Another one, allegations of corruption, rape, Gupta links, Nkandla controversy, and many other things of that note. So after looking at this list of pros and cons, ladies, I want you to tell me whether you think we wasted 9 years or if we had victory for 9 years.
Sorry, what was the question? We wasted 9 years?
Waste or triumph?
He gave us Duduzane Zuma, so we've got to forgive him. It was definitely not a waste. Have you seen Duduzane Zuma? Even with shackles, he looks absolutely incredible. That yummy brown complexion.
Lick the TV.
Have you seen his teeth? I mean, where's the picture coming? Can't you give him a picture of
No.
sure.
This is
Was
not
it
that
I am-
platform.
9 years. Thank you
Take
very
the
much,
shackles
Tata
off
Zuma,
my
for giving
feet
us
so I
Duduzane
can
Zuma.
dance.
Nina?
What? Oh, okay. He taught me to count in isiZulu.
Okay.
Count for us?
Uno,
Dos.
go, ngune,
Wait.
Tres.
uvile.
Okay, stop.
And then also, he corrected my pronunciation of Kandla. Kandla. And also this, I now know how to fix my glasses when they're falling
Like a
off my face.
professional.
Yeah, Ella,
This is great.
It was not a waste.
That's the one.
Nina.
And also now I know that lyrics to that house song, Yindi Lendlela.
Nananas.
Yindi we.
Shololos. What does it mean when a mama?
It means we've got a long way to go.
Sure, Didi.
cutie pie.
Oh, sweetie.
Why did we all react like? So I think really Jacob Zuma cannot be called a waste because
No.
I have not in my entire life encountered a pop star quite so incredible. I mean, if you think about the music that he's about to bring us, I mean, that's like
Oh, the
that was
gospel
biggest
version
hit.
of that was
Do you know what I'm
amazing.
saying?
I even started singing along with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And also, I discovered what a fire pool was.
Ah,
Expanded my knowledge. Thank you, Baba.
Okay,
you, Baba.
so I see 3 triumphs here, and that's going to end my update for tonight. Thank you so much.
a
Thank you
fire
for
pool.
Duduzane.
Amazing.
Ne?
And Duduzane,
Yeah.
just thank you
Thank you.
so much.
Stop this, guys. He's married. Stop
Oh,
this.
he's not married to us.
He's not married to us. It's
You're not.
funny.
All right, so there was shocking news that came out in the early hours of this morning. So this is so crazy. The star of musical drama Empire, Jussie Smollett, was attacked in downtown Chicago. Attacked by 2 unknown masked men. Now, according to the Chicago police report, the attack was a hate crime. So allegedly, the 2 perpetrators apparently called out racial and homophobic slurs at Jussie before beating him up, pouring an unknown substance onto him, wow, and attempting to tie a noose around his neck and yelling the words MAGA country. Now, of course, you'll know MAGA is Make America Great Again, which is Trump's big slogan. So you can understand which side of the world the alleged attackers are coming from. So Hollywood immediately rallied behind the star. The director of Empire, Lee Daniels, took to Twitter to share this video in response and I suppose support, right? Have a look.
It's taken me a minute to come to social media about this because, Jussie, you are my son. You didn't deserve, nor anybody deserves, to have a noose put around your neck, to have bleach thrown on you, to be called die, or whatever they said to you. You are better than that. We are better than that. America is better than that. It starts at home. It starts at home, yo. We have to love each other, regardless of what sexual orientation we are. Because it shows that we are united on a united front. And no racist can come in and do the things that they did to you. Hold your head up, Jussie. I'm with you. I'll be there in a minute. It's just another day in America.
Oh,
And I take that further to say it's just another effed up day in the world. You know, the cruelty that human beings can display is sometimes like something you're reading in a comic book. You know, people can be so prejudiced and such intolerance of each other. It just doesn't make sense. And so in 2019, with the amount of laws and rules and the way that we're thinking, this is still happening. It's very scary.
It's absolutely disgusting. It isn't surprising, especially when how the media reports on certain groups of people. Look at how the world considers as the face of terrorism since the 9/11 attacks. It's absolutely disgusting. In Britain, this has left a lot of Muslim people being vulnerable to being victims of hate crimes and leading to what is now called Islamophobia. What is Islamophobia, you ask? It is a fear that is rooted in racism that targets expressions of Muslim or perceived Muslims. Sure. It's
I
disgusting.
mean, the historical persecution can be traced back to the first war ever fought by man. I mean, from biblical times. And in more recent times, in our own backyard, the Rwandan genocide of the 90s was an example of how far othering can lead to an entire community of people being almost exterminated. I mean, there were... just because they're a different clan or because they have a different belief system, millions of people, mass graves. People were slaughtered during the Hutus versus the Tutsi war. Rape was used as a weapon against many women and children. I mean, it's horrendous.
Yeah, look, what's terrifying is that many of these hate crimes occur is that they happen in private without the world watching or any big headlines happening. In recent years in India, India made some international headlines with reports of horrific rape cases coming out, but no one has been talking about the acid attacks on women. Now, it is a common practice in India of throwing acid on someone's face or body. Now, these attacks have mainly been perpetrated by family members, husbands, communities, strangers, whoever it might be, on girls and women as revenge for either rejecting a marriage proposal, for seeking divorce from your husband, for even rejecting someone's sexual advances towards you. And these are labeled horror killings. Honor killings. Yeah, it's quite strange. And the ritual that involves, it's basically a ritual that involves murdering a family member who you believe has brought shame to the family. Look,
It's very, very
quite
scary. Can I
strange.
jump in here?
Yeah.
You'll have had this experience, right? If you reject somebody's advances, right? And you go, no thanks, I get out sharper, or I'd shoot. You know what I mean?
And you're called garden tools.
Exactly, exactly. So from every level, just the level of like hatred is scary.
Sakaya, we as black people will kill our own beautiful people with albinism. We come up with stupid reasons to kill them, especially like during times of elections. We say they will give us power to win elections. It is absolutely nonsensical. And the only people who can stop killing black people are black people. No one else does it. You know, obviously albinism is, every nation, every race has albinism. But we as black people are the only people who are thick enough to go around killing our own people for superstitious beliefs.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's people killing people for all kinds of othering, you know, religious ones being, you know, one of the major themes in the history of mankind. During the Ottoman Empire, the Turks,
Genghis Khan,
all of that kind of space where, you know, they would kidnap children and convert them to whatever religion it was. And if the child didn't convert, they would kill the child. Or if they did convert, then they would send the child back to their own families to convert their families, and if they didn't, they would kill their families. You know, like there's just all of these kinds of that would deliver their child in a bag to their family because they wouldn't convert to that religion. I mean, it's horrendous.
I mean, the stealing of children happens every day, today as well. And being co-opted into gangs or religious groups, as you say, it's still happening today. This human trafficking, imagine. That was really intense, eh?
But we have a responsibility. I say, as black people, we've got to protect our people with albinism and stop killing them and hacking their limbs for ridiculous
And
reasons.
you know, I think also each one teach one.
Yes.
So it's that thing that we always say, if you are a man and you see your friends who are men doing bad things, say something about it. So if you see some of this terror, say something. We're going to take a very quick ad break. This is TrendingSA on 3.
Uyayizwa le ngoma? Alithi uZulu, ke problem yalona.
I love music lovers. I love watching people who love music. Zoe's right there. She's our guest, and we're going to be getting into that interview in just a little while. This is TrendingSA on SABC3. Now, she is extremely talented. I told you all about her fabulous music. Zoe Modiga is here. All right, so what do we go to next? I think we should speak to you, Nina, because, Nina, you haven't read tweets in a long time.
Which one is Nina?
Like 4 years.
Who's Nina? What's my name?
We all look the same.
What? Tuma Nina. Tuma Nina. Send you.
Moi.
Me.
You.
Send you. So let's look at your tweets. Ma Sumkanda says, I hardly ever on these Twitter streets, but because Zoe Modiga is on TrendingSA, even ghosts.
Wow. Power, power, fire, fire. Zoe.
Oh, no. I'm not reading this woman's things. She told me I had a fat face yesterday.
Whoa.
Sorry.
I just like how you guys tackle a conversation. Hey, TrendingSA on 3, you make us understand more.
Good.
Now we love you more. I love you more. Please don't say nasty things about Tulantuza Nina. I saw that tweet as well. I didn't appreciate it.
No, this woman was body shaming me. I'm sorry, I'm not reading her tweets.
Okay.
Okay, so thanks for all of your posts. Keep tagging us, and don't forget also to tag at SABC3. It's time now for In Other News.
Childish.
Yeah, that's right, Pavi. And tonight, in other news, I'm taking a look at hashtag Open Up the Industry. Okay, this caused a huge stir on Twitter today. And it all started when Twitter users criticized the appointment of our very own actress, Mama Panther, Pearl Thusi, as the roast master for AKA's Comedy Central roast this coming next month, right? So making her the first black person, the first female person, the first black female person roast master on the continent on that particular channel. Now, it was this tweet at DJ News South Africa. That was the trigger. Let's have a look at the tweet. So Pearl Thusi will be the roast master on the upcoming roast of AKA. So disappointed with Comedy Central SA. Why does everything have to be handed to gigs? Why does everything have to be about handing gigs to it girls? Pearl is not funny at all. Nonsense. Her 1 million followers on Twitter are the only reason why she was chosen to host.
Nonsense, Jamelo, nonsense. But quickly, radio and TV personality Tando Tabeto became the center of conversation when she went on a rant in defense of Pearly. This is what she had to say. Enough of this. How does it make sense to anyone that because you've worked to a certain point, no more must come for you, must come your way? Let's get off Twitter and grind. Instead of being so concerned about others' grind. That's Tando. And then she says, I will be damned before I'm told to open up the industry. Open it up for yourself, like all of us did. To this day, I audition. I worked very hard to get where I am, and I'm only just getting started. You go, girl. And then she says, it's also so damn funny that most of this is pointed at the very hard-working so-called it girls working their damn asses off. When the it boys that no one labels diversity, no one ever complains about the boys club is basically what she's saying. And then she says, I normally don't get involved in this stuff, but can we not be an entitled generation waiting like it's my turn now? Get it? It's not coming to you. Ooh.
Look, we're going to unpack this because even when we were going through these as a team, we were on polar opposite sides of this thing. So in the one tweet, Tando mentions the entitled generation. I normally don't get involved with stuff. We may not be an entitled generation waiting. It's my turn now, okay? What are your thoughts on this, team? Okay?
I think, sometimes in this Twitter world, we don't speak as honestly. And I think this is really great that she's brought this up and brought her, angle of it, her experiences. Okay, so entitlement means that, you're just going to be handed things. And if you think about, in a South African context, because I think about these things, we have been promised a lot. Even if you go back to the Freedom Charter, things have been promised a lot. It's kind of the culture that we've created. So it is very scary. And then you fast forward to 2019 and we have all of these overnight microwave success shows. You enter a show, you sing nicely, they turn their chair around, you're Heinz Winkler. So it's tough to teach people who have grown up with all of this instant success how, the steps before you succeed. It's tough to teach this generation.
Yeah.
They've never seen it.
No, I hear you, Lila. And also for me, it's the context within she says it. She's talking about the specific incident, Pearl. I understand that part. I have a problem with anyone calling any disadvantaged community entitled. I have a problem with that because, there needs to be an element of sensitivity. But I do understand that entitlement was within that context.
Look, I think there are two ways to look at this, and it's an issue of an entitlement thing, right? So there are two spectrums that you can look at entitlement.
Hit us with it. Spectrums.
It's got to do with opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So when you feel that you don't have opportunities to get something, then you should naturally have some entitlement to want some more things. So if you're sitting at home, have unemployed, and let's say your community or your government, whatever is not doing something for you, you're entitled to an opportunity to get something, right? So that should be there. But what the other side of entitlement we need to look at is you're also entitled to go out and actually go make things happen for yourself. So in as much as you're waiting for things to happen, you should be able to go out and say, right, these are the opportunities I'm identifying. Let me go out and go fetch whatever I want.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Look, I, for one, completely understand and agree with Tando's points. I don't know anyone more present company excluded, anyone more hardworking, professional, focused on who she is, someone who has believed in her own talent when nobody even knew who she was. That Thando Tabete Netball Foundation, before anyone was interested. And the thing, she opens doors for herself. She's created her own clothing line. She's done her own television shows, her own radio shows. She's created opportunities for herself where there weren't even opportunities in the first place. She comes from a disenfranchised background as a black female who has so many things standing against her in the first place. She's not an entitled person, and there's lots of people that wake up overnight and think that they need to be in the position of a Thando Tabete or a Pearl Thusi. But we know how. Sorry, let me just calm down.
Diti.
We know
more.
how to get into those kinds of spaces. All right, but question 2. The sentiment on Twitter is that the term opening up the industry is a misunderstood concept. What do you think, Pari?
Well, I think there are lots of things that we can talk about when we talk about opening up the industry because, it could be a matter of taking the industry to the people. Is this what you're hoping for? We've done many talent shows and road shows, getting people information about the industry. Or is it about people who are in the industry starting to say no to work so that other people can come and do their jobs?
No one's saying no to
That's not going to happen.
Look, opening up the industry, I think, with the sentiments on Twitter is that a lot of people are saying, why are it girls or popular people or people that already have like 7 shows getting more shows? Give other people a chance, which is that sentiment. But then there's the other sentiment where I think open up the industry is actually possibly meant for people that are actually in hiring positions. So if you're a producer or you're a creative or you own an agency or whatever it may be and you're in the space to hire people, then maybe open up the industry is directed to those people to actually say, right, my brief says I need to find a 30-year-old woman with a big afro and is light-skinned. What do I do now? Instead of saying, agent, let me go call Pearl to come and then call the other girls, just extrapolate it a bit more, open it up a bit more. Say you're looking for 30 to 40, any color skin that you want, and sort of things like that. But the other thing is the opposite, or the polar end of that, is that people that are already in the industry, and the reality of the TV industry in South Africa is that it's tiny, it's about this big, right? And because it's that size, any opportunity to get to have a job is one you're going to hold on to. So normal things that happen in South African television is that you have a show that will last 13 episodes. In the 13 episodes, you probably shot it in 1 month. They were paying you, let's say, 10,000 per episode, which means you're only getting 100,000 until they hire someone at some point in the future. So if you don't get a job for the next 2 years, you only have 120,000 to sustain yourself for 2 years.
4 years.
And once you never get that 100,000 clean, eh?
No.
Because then the agent wants to take their cut, and then our dear friends at SARS would like to take their cut as well. So you get like 25 cents.
Your stylist as well.
So you're on
Stylist,
70 shows
photographer.
because 25 cents plus 25 cents plus will eventually be able to pay your bond.
Guys, can I tell you my understanding?
Yes.
My understanding of opening up the industry is that it's about rebalancing the scale. It's about growing the industry. Look at what Uzalo has done in Durban.
Love.
They've
Yeah.
employed the locals. That's exactly what we need to do. We need to rebalance and bring
Employ
it
the
to the party.
locals, why don't you?
I think that's excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, weren't you put into a position where you were the assistant editor?
Well, I
of
was
Drum?
I was
You're
beauty editor
of
for Drum magazine, and then when apartheid ended, basically it was white people who were beauty editors of Drum magazine, writing for black people, and then when apartheid ended, the baton was handed over to me by
Okay.
Nationale Pers, and there was a black beauty editor.
Well, listen, having Pearl as the first woman and person of color
Is opening.
who is also not a stand-up comedian hosting the roast, technically that's opening up the industry. But if anyone should really be frustrated at a comedian not getting the job as a stand-up comedian of 16 years, yeah, I should really be the one that's upset.
And therefore, Comedy Channel, you've been served. We're going to take a quick break. This is TrendingSA on SABC3. I'm sorry.
Since I saw you on TV, mama. Pearl Tuesday. Since I saw you on TV, mama. Pearl Tuesday. Yeah, Pearl Tuesday. Pearl Tuesday. Yeah, I'm talking about Pearl Tuesday. Pearl Tuesday. Yeah, Pearl Tuesday. Pearl Tuesday. Yeah, I'm talking about Pearl Tuesday. She's the best. Yeah, I don't see the rest. Nah, I don't need a pest. Yeah, with all due respect, she can get it for days. I never say it straight to her face. Never. Look how she rocking them jets. She getting money in so many ways. Hey, she's Zulu and yellow. Zulu and yellow. Grew up in the ghetto. Grew up in the ghetto. Koshwa into ningi. Sisi zwagalanga neno. Mina ngimbiza ngokola. Hey, she got her own uyapola. The beauty, the booty, the boobies, the moolah. Yonkin detailing in order. Yeah. I got fog on my weed, who pet on my G's, she's rolling them trees. Ningang chachi get please, I'm loving the steez, she's all that I need. Yeah, she a 10 out of 10, ngenze upen 10. I'm funny girlfriend, ngfuna I best friend. Roll up the jets, then spend. I need an older mommy, yeah. I don't need drama, nah. Funu sisi or top, yep. On it, steez nyana, opete I zaga, yep. Billy's cheese and Donna. Oh yeah. Angla langa since I saw you on TV, mama. Pearl Tuesday. Yeah. Pearl Tuesday. Pearl Tuesday. Yeah, I'm talking about Pearl Tuesday. Pearl Tuesday. Yeah. Pearl Tuesday. Pearl Tuesday. Yeah, I'm talking about Pearl Tuesday. Katele ila botakala nemi kwanti e papa kakul, batagwa kakul, batanda bomkul. Bapuma ebusuku. Mina ngithande luper. She is the realest. What you heard? Damn it, she fly. All you bitches is birds. She made it. That's what she deserves. Sister nyatwala me. Ngabe nzokubamba ni. Ukhathi nyadlala yi. Fisu kuyolala ki.
Oh, wow. Welcome back. This is TrendingSA on SABC3. Wherever it is that you are watching us, you can also carry us around on your laptop or tablet by watching on TrendingSA.tv and also on Facebook. Shall we get into our Woman Crush Wednesday guest?
Yes!
Come on
Yes!
now. I'm so
Yes,
excited.
go ahead.
Okay, listen. She is a sensation, an award-winning singer, songwriter, and performer. Since winning the SAMRO Overseas Scholarship for Singers back in 2015, her career has been just just fast-tracking to the top. So in 2017, she releases her debut album, Yellow, the novel, which then solidifies her position as the next emerging artist to look out for. With that resume, boasting collabos with some of the country's most respected vocalists like Simpiwe Dana, Thandiswa Mazwai, and Lira, surely nothing is going to stop this amazing woman's momentum. Here she is, the soulful Zoe Modiga!
Wow. Wow.
Okay, so this is the color.
Oh man, this
And
is
it
the
was
color.
all yellow. Hey,
Yes.
congratulations on everything that's been coming your way. Tell me a little bit about, you know, putting an album together sounds like a lot of work. So what's the process been like for you?
Oh man, I think when it comes to putting an album together, it really means different things at different points for anyone that's like trying to compile the whole idea. But for me, for Yellow the novel, it was really organic. I just come from the position of being kicked out of college and I really had something to prove, you know what I mean? I was just like, well, this didn't work out, but the gift is still there, and really just went into the theme of self-realization when it came to the album, which, I mean, a lot of people that have enjoyed it will kind of relate, you know, their own personal stories to that, you know, knowing who you are through relationships, through going through a couple of things like mental illness, you know, a lot of things get to be touched on there. So it was beautiful to create that body of work.
And very relatable as well.
I'd like to think it is, you know, because I think the world is really missing a happy pill. Like everything is really, like you guys were talking about earlier, it's very much like an instant gratification thing. We all like lashes and nails, but we're all kind of looking for that thing that digs a little bit deeper, which is what I'm trying to do.
Oh, my love. So from a musical point of view, you fuse jazz, funk. I mean, you just use all the music, right?
Yes.
So is there anything that you went into the studio thinking, I've got this funk beat, and then it came out as like a surprising jazz? Do you know what I mean? Like, did you surprise yourself in studio?
I think what surprised me was the contribution that the musicians had.
Oh, wow.
Because I had the compositions and the ideas and the messages that I wanted to pass on. But the way that the musicians contributed to that body of work just made it live a lot more than I could have seen it.
I like that.
So that was beautiful. It's like, oh, yeah, guys, we did this, you know.
That's exactly what I'm asking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one way that, I mean, some people might not be aware of it when listening to the album, but every single musician that was part of the project gets to say what their favorite color is.
Oh, wow.
So when you listen to it, you hear them through their voices and not necessarily just their playing. So for me, that's like a homage to a lot of musicians because they don't get as much credit as we as artists do. Yeah.
Nana, let's talk about Now Sarati. You did a fantastic fashion film. What's a fashion film? What's it about? You answered just now, but let's take a look at the trailer. Absolutely beautiful, Lala. Tell us about the creative objective about making this.
Oh man, it was absolutely beautiful putting the project together. So I'm really good friends with an emerging designer called Neo Sarati.
Okay.
And he came up with an idea for us to make a fashion film. So all of the clothes that you see me wearing in the clip are actually his clothes.
Stunning.
And what we did is we collaborated with director Khale Maimane, also an amazing emerging designer, and we just came up with the concept of using a song called Me, which is on my album, and really talking about the experience of getting ready, kind of like going into yourself in the space. As you can see, there's a lot of playfulness and a lot of kind of introspective undertones when it comes to the film. So it's like the getting ready, and then at the end of the film, there's obviously the yellow dress, and me being prepared to face the world.
At some point in that, it looks like you are trying to make a child with this dress. Like you love this dress so much. It's so beautiful.
Lala, you've got a stunning stylized identity. Who's your favorite Landu's
Icon.
icon?
Oh man, Grace Jones just
Yes,
does it for me.
yes.
Grace Jones just does it for me, and I think what I like.
baby.
Oh
yeah.
What I like about her is just the fearlessness of it all. You know, she represents, and I was in awe watching a lot of her interviews and seeing how much confidence she had at a time where Black women did not kind of carry that kind of confidence about them. So, yeah, she's
Did you
just
see
enchanting.
that performance with the hula hoop?
Yes.
She sang a whole song
Throughout.
just hula hooping.
hot.
Hula hoop doesn't fall.
Yes.
Voice doesn't fall. We're all like, how does Grace Jones do this?
And she was much older when she actually did that.
This is very recent, a wonderful icon to have.
You're in studio, you're putting together all these surprises that keep rocking you every day to make this album. But now you go out, it becomes a success story to tell. Do you not feel fearful for the project that you make next because so much anticipation because of the success of the first one?
Oh man, that's an interesting question. I think when you are a creative and you're in the industry that we're in, a lot of who you are and what you're trying to put to the world can run into the theme of fear. You run into it often, you run into rejection a lot, you run into having to perfect your craft and prove your point and continue to prove your point. And I'm sure if you're in the industry like you guys have been for a lot of years, you face the same themes, you know? And I think as a person that's creating, the debut album just came now, but I've also been working for many years behind the scene, facing those fears, trying to put my dreams and my message across to the world, despite the little voices in my head and around me that come in the skin and human beings, you know. So fear is there, but music kind of just overpowers the whole thing. I feel like when I'm performing, I feel like music upgrades me. I always try and put it that way. Like it makes me ethereal. It makes me the best version of myself. And when I'm in that space, it's safe. So as long as I navigate my mind through that, then I know that I'm doing something, you know. But yeah.
So the music is the safety, but then, I mean, and you're known as this young collaborator, that how do you broach the vulnerability of requesting a collaboration? If the music is the safe space, how do you approach collaboration?
Oh man, I mean, when it comes to Yella the novel, at the time that I was recording it, I was really like really nobody. People that have followed the Zoe Modiga journey will remember me just playing guitar and going to places in Rakazi, Cape Town, and looking to play with people. And when I was approaching people like Bokani Daya, Romy Browter-Seth, to name a few that are in the project, they were people that I really looked up to and people that I thought could bring something that I couldn't bring to the table. So that was just like, let's put a faith in a friend and let's just, you know, when just like, let me just jump into it. I don't want to overthink it, because then if you do, you kind of marvel at the bigness of what the other people have to offer. So, yeah.
It's phenomenal. I mean, like, there's this thing that a friend of mine came back from Cape Town. She's like, oh my gosh, I went to this wedding and everybody had these headphones on. It was the most amazing thing. A silent concert, right? So if you just tell someone I'm going to a silent concert, you're like, how does a silent concert work? I mean, I know what it is, but please tell my friends here at this table, they've never heard of one. They don't have friends from Cape Town.
Palm trees.
Okay, I'm joking.
Nice job, Pearl.
So a silent concert is basically where people walk into a space and put their earphones on and get to experience whatever it is that they're there to experience firsthand without the distraction of anything else. So how my silent concert came about was through a good friend of mine and bassist Banda, who actually came up with the idea of having a silent concert. And when we were preparing the whole thing, we just wanted it to be groundbreaking. And we'd been talking a lot about mediocrity and how lackluster things become. So we wanted to really create something that excites people. I remember being excited watching Abo Mambusi Mhlongo perform, and I just wanted to bring that kind of like element back where people come to an event and they're just goosebumped. Like when last did you experience goosebumps? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So we prepared that show and the reaction was
So do people walk in, they get their headphones?
they get their earphones and they put them on, the show starts and everything that they experience is through the earphones. And when the audience actually tried to take the earphones off, they could barely hear anything. So you kind of, you have to put them on and you have to experience your own personal thing of the show, you know?
Gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
All right, Yellow the Novel, you can stream that and purchase that anywhere where good music is sold. We can catch you on social media.
Yes.
And, like, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having
Please
me,
be our
Squad. Jokotela.
Zoe Modiga is now a part of our squad. Thank you. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is TrendingSA on SABC3. Remember, you can always get in touch with us anytime. We love to hear from you. The hashtag to use is on3. Now, we always do this as we wrap up our show. Here's what's up on WhatsApp. Nina.
That's right, Palmy. So if you're wondering what we're laughing about, Siskuli said, "Oh, I didn't know you wanted to be a horse." And I said, "What?" As she said, "I didn't know you wanted to be a horse." And I said, "What?" She says, "I didn't know you wanted to be the horse of the roast." Tonight's WhatsApp on WhatsApp may be the best solution to stop you from binge eating. Let's have a look.
A horse.
A horse.
Does it look like a crab? Yeah, I reckon Ruby's yummy.
Oh, I love if he goes and checks. Okay, so maybe this banana's broken. There's something with this banana that's the problem. So cute. That's it for tonight. Can you believe it? We've done it. Congratulations, Nina. Congratulations, Musa. And congrats to you too, Siskuli. And everyone out there, thank you for watching. 10:30 p.m. tomorrow. We're going to do it all over again, babies. Bye-bye.
I did not say horse.